Morning, Dowse.
Morning.
Can I start with a brief question that was raised by one of our supporters called Nathan Swanborough, in fact. Over the last few years, we have, in pre-season, played a number of times for the Phil Ledger Trophy in a pre-season friendly, usually, if not always, actually, against Wimbledon. Nothing seemed to happen about that this year. Do you know anything about it at all?
I wouldn't have a clue. You know, Phil Ledger was excellent for this football club. Brilliant. And in fact, his wife still does cleaning around here, and she comes in, she's lovely. Her and the girls come in, we're in fact for a cup of coffee, and listen, I know we're working the edition, I know what Phil Ledger done, but I haven't got a clue what the Ledger Trophy is or whatever. It was never brought to me, because if it was brought up, I would have done it against Oxford or whatever, and just had a game against somebody else, and because I think his name should live on, and all that, you know, the work he's done for his football club, and and what he done. So no, I actually haven't got a clue about the Ledger Cup, but if it's been brought to my attention, which you've just brought it up, and rightly so, because you know what he'd done for a football club, and we should do it next year, shouldn't we? So I'm glad you brought it up, to be honest. So, because I know what work you've done.
Great, thank you, and thanks to Nathan for drawing it to our attention. Second, before we get on to talk about football, you got your medal back.
I got your medal, yeah. Only late, we have top man there. So I give it to the hospice, as you know. I want to help them, but he bought it on his behalf and said it should anonymously at 1,200 quid or something, which is a very nice thing to do, and he presented up there, so I was touched, to be honest. But a typical thing from Andy, typical thing, you know, it was a lovely thing. I'll keep that now, and you know, I didn't really actually want to give it away, but you do, because you said you would, and you know, he's put it in a nice frame and a plaque and all that, so I really do appreciate that. Like, and before the game on Tuesday night, probably a highlight of Tuesday night, he gives it and all that, you know, so I'm delighted to have it. So it'll bring back good memories, you know, so fantastic.
Absolutely. I would like to point out publicly that my wife put it in a nice frame for you.
Is that right? Oh, sorry, okay. And wife put a lovely
look. To know.
Good job I didn't say it was awful, wasn't it? It was awful frame, but yes, your wife very much appreciate her doing that, put a nice frame, and obviously I appreciate her doing that, and obviously massive appreciation to Annie Lateway for presenting it to her night, so I was touched, to be honest. So a very nice thing to do.
Good. Turning to on-field matters, but not playing football, your huddle at sort of 90 minutes before the game, is that working for you, do you think?
I think so, yeah. We just said, even last night in training, we've got to do with talking on the pitch. It's no good me doing interviews here saying what we're going to do, or people tell what to do at the minute. We're trying to do with talking on the pitch, and we'll just get them out there, and you get a feel for it. You get a feel for the pitch, you get a feel for the weather, winds and stuff like that. You get a feel for if we've got to talk specifically about where we're going to play in different areas and stuff. So it's just something I brought up in pre-season. We'll keep on doing it. At the minute we will, and you know, but did it work? It did against Dagenham and did against Aldershot. So yes, at the minute we want to do all the talk. We have the first year how we're going to play, what we're going to do, we're going to get them in and tactics and all the rest of it. Then the last bit is always from the captain, where he gives a huddle, so we join in that as well. So Casey has the last bit, whatever he wants to see it, weighing the players up, horse of a course if you want to see it. But yeah, it's a thing I wanted to do, because everybody outside our little bubble, if you like, thinks we'll get relegated by October, and we don't. So you know, and I sense what other people are saying on the outside if they're going to managers' meetings and stuff like that. So I know what everybody thinks, but we'll just say, okay, we'll do what talking on there, you know.
Yeah. And you say you keep doing it for now. Will you keep doing it if it's pouring with rain?
100%. Got to play in the rain. Got to do a talk in the rain. So we'll take the jackets out there and do things like that. I just think a lot of players get cooked up in the training room. You sit there and they get there 1:30 and they play the music and all that. You know, I just think it's another little. Just get out there and, you know, get a feel for it. The pitch could be rock solid. It could be wet. It could be. I think just to get a feel of everything, the ground and everything else. I do think a lot of people do spend a lot of time in change rooms. I've always thought that and all that. You know, where we'll train all week anyway, so the majority thinks is tapping up on the things on a Saturday to get you out playing. And so we'll do it in all weathers. Yeah, we'll go out there and you know, and I think it's been better doing it like that. I do.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you go back in. Usually they will have a wander around on the pitch, don't they? And they go back in about 25 to 2 and don't come out again till 1:15.
I know it's a long thing as well, and like you say, I think change rooms you can. And people, especially games got this year, people bigger crowds, bigger teams, people get nervous and all that. I just think it gets you out in Europe, and I think everybody feels better in the fresh air and all that. I certainly do. So if we can do our team talk there, nobody listens and nothing like that. Nobody gets involved in it. So it's just us on the pitch and in the D bit and telling exactly what we want to do on the day. It's exactly the same sort of stuff we'll see in the change room anyway. So it's just, I just feel so being out in Europe is better.
Yeah, and I can see the point about you can actually point to areas of the pitch
Aye.
instead of using that board with the little discs.
If you're there anyway and you see a
Yeah.
going to play like this, and how about this there, and can we pass the ball there, and you can point on the pitch. I think
Yeah.
there's a better philosophy sort of thing, like, and stuff like that. So that's the way of thinking. But it will be judged on results how we're coming. At the minute, it's working and ish, and it's just a different tact. That's all.
Yeah, and that's always a good thing. Makes change is as good as a rest.
Well done, David. You can crack on. You've been practicing this, haven't you? Right, okay, change is as good as a rest.
Let's turn to Dagenham then.
Right, let's.
Flying start. Nobody could have asked for any more. And I don't know how many people expected that performance and result, but for whatever reason, I came up to you afterwards and said, "Well done, congratulations," and shook your hand for getting such a fantastic start to the season. Amazing support.
Oh, brilliant support.
340 something people there.
Our fans were brilliant. Actually, were brilliant the other night. Before kick-off and all that, I said to our players, look at them supporters, because you never heard the Aldershot lads till they scored, to be honest. And
you never heard the Dagenham crowd at all.
Dagenham and all that, and stuff like that. You never. So I thought our supporters were excellent, and there will be. I said last night, you give them passion, there will be. So that's what we've got to give them. So I was really, disappointed what happened the other night. But talking about Dagenham, yeah, good start. I looked at the fixture list I did, and you can tell the first 6 games were going to be very, very tough and all that, and stuff. And we had to try to get our foot in the door, and we have done and all that, which I'm pleased about. But I thought the support was good. I thought we played well. I thought we disciplined what we did. And all that, so it was a great 3 points to start the season. Really, we're delighted. We look, like say, you look at our fixtures, the first 6-7 games. There's 5 of them are going to be in the top 7, and all the shot maybe won't be, or I don't think it will be. So it's one of them where we thought that may be the game we might pick up points. It's amazing how it's worked around. So delighted with the start, delighted with the 3 points and all that, and delighted with the support. And it's been a quiet summer really. I think the club's been a bit dead, to be honest. After the big build-up from last season, winning the championship, I do think we've got to get a hold of the club and lift it again. We do. Not just me as the management or the players, I think everybody in the club, we've got to start lifting the players again. It's just been a bit dead summer for me. Maybe it's been talked about the new ground. Great, but nothing else. And I think the football's come second, to be honest. So I do think we've got to get together as a club on and off the pitch, and to move this club forward. That's what I honestly think. But supporters will help in that. Above me, they've got to help in that as well. We've got to help as management and players. I just think it's come second best, and I think we've got to start as a club moving forward. I really do.
Yeah.
Like shirts. I've been honest, like shirts and all that. They come a day before the season or whatever. Can we not do something better about that?
That's tradition here.
I know, but it shouldn't happen to you. We didn't compete with my football team, because it should have been whacked on the website. I'm not knocking you, Daniel, or whatever. It should have been whacked on the website that we are selling the shirts. That wasn't on there, to be honest. So it should have been like massive. We've just got promotion. Come and support. I've walked in the town centre and there's new things up on the wall. I'll do it myself next week. I'll start putting them on myself next week. Let's get a hold of the club. We've got to try. I'll take all the brunt of supporters. I'll take a brunt of everybody. But I think as a club, we've got to try to move forward quickly as a group, and that's from the top to the bottom. I feel so like now we've got 80 odd kids we're coached down there, the community lads and all. Let's get them forward. I think the club's been dead as a door now. I do in the summer. We've got to make it commercially better. There's 26 people in the lounge tomorrow. 26 fligging people and all that. There should be 100 in there. Oh, well, let's go and get them. Let's go in the town centres and go and get the people in here. We're trying all we can do in the Asian community. We've got this Pride March tomorrow. I'll back that as well. I will. I'll back everything. My hearts of hearts is telling us we haven't done enough in the summer. If you want to include me in that, or include me in that, we've got to build a club, and that's what's getting on my nerves, to be honest. Let's go in the town centre and get that lounge full, because it's 26 people in a flipping game tomorrow. It's crap, useless, and all that, Let's get that built up. Let's get the community built up. Let's keep going. I'm going to do a state across the road. I will. I slept on there the other night after a game because I knew I had to. During the day, I knew I had to do this thing. I'll do my bit, but I think a lot of people in the football club have got to do their bit as well and build the club up. That's what I think. I'm having a rant now, but I feel so I've been wanting to get off my chest, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Can't avoid turning to Tuesday night.
Okay. Make us feel better, Dale.
You summed it up very well yourself in your own interviews.
Yeah.
I think an excellent first half.
Yeah.
Really looked, without question, the better team, and then didn't follow it through in the second half.
Yeah, I felt sorry for our supporters, and I felt guilty as well, to be honest. I wanted to be the manager who beat all the shots. I wanted to win the game desperately for the supporters. I could sense what it means to them. I know you haven't beaten for a while. Got a good manager down there, and I haven't got any complaints. Some people are saying how we celebrate, and the kid give it all up, didn't he? left back lad and mentioned Rundell and all that, and I get all that, somebody says it, but that's just what players do now with tweeting, they do all that rubbish like, and I would have celebrated if we had won it, to be honest, with our fans. So it ain't a problem, like, you know, and stuff like that. Like, if you look at their point of view, good club, good manager. But the bottom line is they got relegated. So imagine being relegated. You know, that's what we have got on their CV, and all of a sudden you're not relegated and you beat your local rivals. It's obviously we're going to celebrate, and we would have done the same. You know, we're not wanting to shout in change rooms and all that, to be honest. But listen, I've got no complaints about that. We done very well first half. I thought tactically, even though it's a bit harsh second game, we got it wrong second half. We wanted to play more football and we didn't. The players probably think we didn't give instructions enough to do that, so I've got to meet the players halfway. Not what I chatted about it last night, where, you know, the long throw comes in. Brilliant. When you watch the side on Saturday for Harrogate level, the centre forward was 6'5", 6'5", big, and we'll get these teams. And I knew when we got in the league and part time we'll have to go bigger. And eventually, when we get the foot in the door, we'll play more football. That's what we planned was against all these big strapping sides. And we've done that. It worked very well against Dagenham. And it's always saying that horses for courses, which I've said, but not when you win a game. I'm talking about if things go drastically wrong, you've got to change things. And we've been really solid. And the first half was good as well. But what the instructions we probably kept crying out for is, you know, to get on the ball, and because when they sit deep, we've got to pass the ball and we want to play good attacking football. We really do. But we didn't. We kept on pumping it up there. We kept on whacking it in the box, and it didn't work and all that. And we didn't tell them to do that, but we didn't tell them not to do it because we wanted to. So I think we got to take a blame as well as a management team. I think we got into the players last night, and I felt we have felt a little bit that we didn't give them enough instructions to move it and pass it. Sometimes we've got to take stuff for self. I think we have got that, but sometimes we've got to give instructions better. Yeah. So I think we've got to meet them halfway, because second half wasn't good enough, and a lack of fight and a lack of desire. I just thought it was like a run out of ideas. I thought we should have played a bit more, you know. So we got it wrong. Like I say, I felt terrible. I felt guilty on our supporters. I felt guilty on the people, and I was pretty devastated. And the next morning, I had the same clothes on. Even Jen downstairs says, "Are you all right?" And I says, "I was really disappointed." So nobody can beat me up anymore when I beat myself up. But we're back on the training ground last night. I'm back ready for tomorrow's game. That's what happens in football, you know.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think.
What's that music done up there?
I think they must be testing the PA system in different areas.
I'll put that window down. Can you?
Yeah, I'll do it.
What happened to the old blinking Neil Diamond all that day? We could have had a bit of that, couldn't we? Oh, let's dink him on, like.
It's War of the Worlds, traditional working music.
Is that what it is? Was it War of the Lords?
War of the Worlds.
Very good.
It was, War of the Worlds was a book written by...
Give it to Stem. Okay, I'm not problem. Okay, you got that one? Yeah.
H.G.
Okay.
Wells.
H.G. Wells.
And it's about Martians landing on Earth, and the place they land is Horsell Common.
Is that right?
Yeah. And they did a radio broadcast of this in America, as if it was a live commentary on something real, and millions of people fell for it all over the States and thought we were being invaded by Martians.
Fantastic. Just like the old Hartlepool monkey hangers one, isn't it? That's what it is, isn't it? You know, so it's different. Yeah. Well, and to top it all off, because when you have a crap weekend, when you have a useless time, I forgot to pay the Dartford charge on Saturday, you know. And on the way there, me, Daya, Kelvin and his wife, Francis, we were talking, got to pay the Dartford charge. I forgot twice last year. So I've got earache this morning, not the bills coming. I've got to pay the Dartford charge. Also, it's been a cracking weekend, but fully looking forward to it. It's a very exciting time at the club. Like I say, let's get together and let's crack on for tomorrow's game.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. There's always the next game.
Yeah.
And the next game is against Harrogate. So far as I'm aware, we have never played Harrogate.
Is that right?
So this will be the first time. I know I heard you say, and I don't think anybody's picked up on this particularly, that you've got Rob Green to go and watch them for you.
Rob, he lives up there. He lives in Harrogate and all that. You know,
playing for Leeds.
I play with Leeds. He lives up. His family's from up there, and obviously he's a massive working fan, Rob, and good lad. And I rang him and said, and he's watched you give a report on the game and stuff like that. So we've got how we've been playing lately. We know about them. Obviously, we watch the videos anyway on the games. So it'll be a tough game. They're one of the favourites. You know, the next 3 games, Chesterfield are favourites to win the league. We've got Harrogate. We got to get on with it. So it's the high is Saturday, the lower Tuesday. I've got the one, all the shop. I've got that one as well. And but we just got to get on with it. It's football. So we'll have to play these teams. We've got to play them if we want. I wouldn't have kept the job. I'll go at the right time here. You know, when I feel as though I can't take the club any further. But we've just started the journey. To be honest, we just started what I want to try to achieve. And you know, that's why I had a crack about the community thing and getting everybody together and sorting the club out really. But you got to have highs and lows, and the first thing we've got to do is make sure we get a foot in the door in this league and try to stay in it. Then we've got to build again. Once we stop building, once we stop, then I'll just walk anywhere. So if the supporters don't have to worry with a thing. I'm here to build a club. I'm here to be successful. So we've got to take these teams on. We've got to be competitive, which we always will be, and all that. You've got to have belief in the players, which we have done. Great set of players, great set of lads you are. We definitely want to do well. We need to support us. Sometimes I can sense second half, and you can imagine on these forums and things they do, and these Twitter things they do, they'll not be very happy with us after Tuesday. I've got that as well, but we need them tomorrow. We need the people to get behind with, and I'm sure we will do. All us have done, all the supporters have done. We need them on our side.
Of course. And before both of those games, you brought in Ibrahim Meite on loan. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly, from Crawley.
Yeah.
What was the thinking there?
We need another forward in the camp. We're chasing one this morning. I hope one comes off today. If it is, it'll be fantastic for you, and stuff like that. Felix, a lad, the QPR, Joe Felix, captain of QPR on the 23s, play against Farmer, was signed him today as well.
For those who were there, he's the very small lad who scored a goal with
his head. I think, definitely. So, and he's very competitive. So we're pleased to have that. Young Joe Morrison's went to Walton Casual on loan. We're pleased to get him out. I gather Reggie Young's playing for Farmer tomorrow. That's what I heard last night. So I don't know much about that, to be honest. So we're a good player, but we're all after one. If we can pull this off, I'll be delighted if we can today. I really will, but that's why I had to hold my nerve, not spend all the budget, and wheel and deal a little bit. And when the right player comes, at the minute, the back three, it'd be an excellent step up mistake we made, and all that. We've been competing very well. Had chances the other day to win the game first half, where it would have been a different story, a different conversation today. But we're in a good place, and the lads are in a good place on the training ground, and looking forward to tomorrow's game.
And in respect to tomorrow's game, I'm not asking you to give vital information away, but might there be some changes?
Yeah, 1 or 2. I think 1 or 2 are looking a little bit. We've got to, like I say, I'll always, if things go right, I think the plan A, if you like, you look at plan what we thought is looking at the squad, and we won 1 game in 9 last season. I think at the end of it, I was very concerned with a lack of bottle and a lack of in the team, and I knew studying the league above that everybody's seen all the big lads in it, and if you can't compete in boxes, we'll get relegated again. So I knew that. So even though it might not be a style of player what you like, because I like wingers and I like attacking football and things like that, something we might do tomorrow. Then but the only thing is we can't just do that. You've got to have the passing and play and open teams up. Things we're working on training at the minute, because that's what we've got to do. So there will be 1 or 2 changes probably. We'll change formation. I don't know. At this minute, but the bottom line is yes. If things do go wrong, we'll have to change things better than we did at half. Listen, the first 3 halves were excellent, really. Dug them in there. So at half time, there's no need to say keep doing what you're doing. But when they get sus and when they go, we've got to pass the ball and got to move the ball, which I like to do anyway. And Kane Fernhand's very, very good at it, and Sean is, and Puka likes to pass the ball. Max Crosman likes to pass the ball. Casey can't hit it long. He likes to play. So why not play to your strengths as well? So that's the thing. What we're disappointed now, but. As a manager, did we get them instructions on the pitch, shouting on the line as quick as we can? I don't think we did, so I think we've got to meet the players halfway and see about we maybe both got it wrong a little bit in the second half. I'm not bothered a minute. If you don't win matches, you get things wrong.
Sure. Last thing, but again in respect to tomorrow's game, wind. Someone said to me once, many years ago, that you can play football in pouring rain, you can play in snow, you can play in hot weather. The one weather condition that can make football really difficult and even ruin a match is strong wind. Do you agree with that?
100%.
Because tomorrow it's going to be 40s.
Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do with talking on the pitch, and that's the little things we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll suss that out. Will team selection be around that? Of course, when you come to games and sometimes you're 50-50 on a decision. I've walked in the ground and sometimes I see a player not quite right. I suss everything out I do. Sometimes I feel as though you get the gut, you walk on the pitch. That's why I'm doing the team talks, because sometimes I walk on the pitch and think, that's what I'm going to do today. And I'll go to Ian and Martin and say, listen, bump, and all that, and stuff like that. And I think you get a good feel. So the wind will come into it, of course it will. The obviously, especially in this league and all, the big strapping boys have got. But we've got listen, we'll come in, but we've got to compete. That's the thing you want to do, and all the sides I've had over the last 15 years have always competed, and we've got to do the same again. So if it's windy, rainy, whatever, we'll let it compete. It'll be the same for both sides. No excuses at all, just like the other night, no excuses, and we'll move from there.
But in a general sense, do you agree with the idea that a really strong wind can make the game much more difficult to play? And
definitely.
can spoil a game.
Could spoil the game, yeah.
But also act as an equaliser.
Oh,
make
definitely.
It a lottery.
A lot of like, sometimes, you know, like when we played, for example, when we played Watford down here in the FA Cup, a couple of days beforehand, because it was around the winter time, I was thinking, I hope it's windy, rainy, horrible, crappy, because of the balls, we might have half a chance. So you think both ways, really, that, you know, it can work for you or against you. You can come off and thinking, oh, if it wasn't windy, we could have won that. Or you can go the other way and thinking, we've got away for it, you know what I mean? I think it's a two-way thing, you know.
And
so,
if the wind is end to end, you get a
Yeah.
game of one half.
You do, and you sometimes think, I always think you should go with it, but sometimes you think, well, if you go against it because the forecast is going to get stronger second half and you can defend that in the first half, or you get 2-0 up in the first, it's all mind games in it, you know, and stuff like that. So it does play a massive part. It's a good point, really. Wind does play a massive part, because if you're against it, you're thinking, I'll tell you what, if I can just save this foot at half time, 1-0 down, you go, or if you're 0-0, or if a flip side, if you're not 2-0 up, it's pressure's both ways, you know, and stuff, because, you know, just like what's the other night, you see how much time wasting that happened the other night, referee never done that, but it's unbelievable. So, but where were you in the table, by where?
10th, I think.
Where's Aldershot?
Just below.
I think, just to really finish off, I think if you'd asked most supporters before the season started if they'd be happy with 3 points from 2 games, they'd have said yes.
We would have done, and I get that, if somebody had said no, he could have done it the other way around, I would have done. Listen, I wanted to be the manager who beat Aldershot. Danny's got bragging rights, and rightly so, and you know, so I wanted to do it for the supporters, I wanted to do it for the people, I really did. So nobody was more disappointed than me, and you know, I didn't sleep a week for 2 nights. But I'm back on training ground last night, back today, looking forward to tomorrow's game. We've got to bin it. I want the supporters to be on our side, as all as all. I want to try to live this dream with them, and you know, we've got to excite the place again. And the only way you're going to do that is win matches. So that's what we're trying to do tomorrow.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
Brilliant. Cheers now. Goodbye.